very warm welcome to a new episode of Melt. I'm Ritvika Gupta shooting remotely. As Mercedes-Benz India strategizes its revival amidst flagging sales in the luxury car segment, it has lined up a model assault with 15 launches in 2021. There's also a new retail strategy, as well as a slew of changes to the marketing and selling process to increase both customer experience and satisfaction. To find out more, Anant Rangaswami, editor of Melt, will be in conversation today with Santosh Iyer, Vice President Sales and Marketing, Mercedes-Benz India. Let's get ready to melt with Santosh Iyer.
Morning, Santosh.
Hi, good morning.
There's lots we could talk about, but we are constrained by time. So I thought we'll focus on the highlights of Mercedes-Benz's performance in India in the last few months and in the year to come. So the first things first, why do you see the need or believe the market has got an appetite for as many as 15 launches in the coming year?
Yeah, actually, we came out of a pandemic year, which was 2020, and we thought 2021 would be better. Maybe that was the assumption when we started the year. And in the automotive industry, our experience clearly says that there is nothing better than products which excite the market. So if you want to revive demand, you want to revive sentiments, you also need the latest products, the latest technology and offerings to consumer. And therefore, we were very clear that we will go ahead with as many products as possible in 2021. Having said that, the second wave came in somewhere end of March, April, and that came again, posed a big question. Should we continue with these launches? Should we hold them back? But for us, we strongly believe that the Indian customers want what's available worldwide in terms of product offerings, technology, and therefore we decided to go ahead with it. So as soon as the second wave started flattening out, we started introducing the new products. You know that we launched the new GLS Maybach, we launched the new S-Class in launch edition, and the customer demand has been overwhelming actually for these cars. So I think it only validates our view that there is always a latent demand for some of these new cars, and in these times, it's good to excite the market with new products.
Right. For somebody like you, it's a challenge, because your range goes from as low as say around 30 lakhs and goes all the way up to 2.5 crores. So there are a lot of segments and sub-segments, or is it all one segment? How do you define that?
It's a very good question. Firstly, the luxury car market, specifically for Mercedes-Benz now, we have no products even at 30 or even at 40. It starts around 42 and the on-road price is 48 lakhs. So that's where we start with the A-Class, and it goes right up to 4.5 crores, with the customized GLS, Maybach, G-Wagon, AMGs and stuff. So it's a huge segment. And now the way we look at this segment is 1 crore plus and 1 crore below. That is the 50 lakhs to a crore of segment. And then you have 1 crore plus, which is all the specialty supercars costing 1.5 crores going up to say 4.5 crores. So here again, when we look at this year, for example, we launched the new GLS and we are planning to sell close to 2,000 cars more than a crore. And that's the kind of demand that we see even in plus 1 crore segment. In the below 1 crore segment, we are seeing demand again similar to 2019 levels. The biggest challenge for us is right now on the supply side. We don't have enough cars considering semiconductors, chips, and many other issues that we are facing. But demand is there. Customers in both the segments are equally excited about the new products, about the new offerings. And right now, I can say that we have the best ever order bank in the history of Mercedes-Benz India. We have a customer waiting from 4 to 6 weeks, going up to even 12 to 18 weeks for many of our car lines.
Right. Now, in the last year, I've spoken to marketers across categories, and I've seen a lot of them relook their media plan because media consumption habits have changed. Have you had a relook at your own media planning and media targeting? Has it changed the mix?
I think surely it has changed for two reasons. One, consumers are now more time at home and basically they are consuming media much more. That's one insight that we see. The second is our entire foray into e-commerce. When we do e-commerce, you cannot do the similar kind of media planning what we used to do in the past, and therefore we have to change our strategies. For us, I think this pandemic is somewhere been a good accelerator toward digitalization, because with what we have done on the media side, significant shifts in the way we spend on digital, because it's just not performance marketing, but there is a lot of money that we also spend on upper funnel marketing now on digital, which was not the case, say, 18 to 24 months back. So definitely there has been a change in our media strategy. I think saying that we spend in digital is cliche, but the way we spend on digital is now more content, more on upper funnel, and much lesser on performance marketing to get leads. The performance marketing is more focused on e-commerce space and not on the brand or the product space as such.
Now, a large part of the business in your category is, consumer interaction. In a pandemic kind of situation, how are you dealing with these two challenges? One is the ability not to be able to do events, and the second is the experience that people need in test driving.
Yeah, so I think our test drives have for sure come down during the pandemic period. But because as Mercedes-Benz as a brand, it's quite strong, and there is a lot of trust. I think the biggest impact we see is on the trust of our brand, and because of that, when we launched the new S-Class or the new Maybach, not a single test drive was there. The customers went through the content online. They were able to research their cars. We also went one step. Some of our customers stay in UK, in Dubai during these times, and we were able to even organize a car for them to check it out there. And that also shows a very new trend and a new age group now buying cars. Earlier, we used to have these high-end cars, 50 plus. That used to be an average age of customers buying more than 1 crore plus cars. And now that has come down to 40 to 45, even 35 to 45, I can say. A lot of young customers, second generation, third generation, they have studied abroad, they come back, they have driven our cars. So the so-called need for test drive is not there. But what they still need is consultation. And for that, we have shifted completely to online concierge. So here they can connect with our sales team. We give an online consultation. They can select the car. I think what we have done is we have given full transparency in the current model. We call it a marketplace model where every dealer uploads every car, VIN, stock, and they can see the full transparency today, and they are able to book this car. The moment you give transparency online, there is a confidence to book online, because then they feel I don't need to go with the dealer or trust on him on what he says. I can see everything online. So I think this entire transformation we have been able to do using digital tools to interact with the customer, give him more personalized experiences. But frankly, it still doesn't replicate the real world. And this is where now with markets opening up, we are coming back with curated events, be it in test tracks, be it in the sand dunes in Jaisalmer, or taking customers out of India also. So all this will restart, of course, subject to the COVID protocols and stuff. We cannot replace some of them by digital. But one good example I can give is about Mercedes Trophy. That's one big platform for 20 years we had. It's a pure golf tournament across India. We have 2,000 Mercedes-Benz customers participating. But this year we transformed this completely to a Fiji digital format. So we have an online simulator, simulates all the golf courses. They can walk into the nearby dealership, play some rounds, 9 rounds there, and they compete with their peer group. And of course, the winner will be part of the national finals, which we will do physically in Pune, and maybe they also go to the world finals in Stuttgart. So it's a combination of digital format, a selection, and then of course you play the game physically. So even in a event like Mercedes Trophy, we have been able to reinvent ourselves with a Fiji digital format.
I want you to spend some more time explaining to us the e-commerce sales, because for you, there's a new channel. Whatever the figures, maybe 15%, 20% of your sales are coming from e-commerce. So tell me, what does it mean in the short run? What does it mean in the long run? And how is the consumer experience buying on e-commerce?
So, there were a lot of skeptics when we said that we intend 20-25% of our sales to happen online, because the general traditional thinking is, why will a Mercedes-Benz, a luxury product, be bought online? For that, we have to give something back to the customer. So what we have done is we have given high level of transparency in terms of stock, pricing, availability online. We came up with and we took dealers along with us. So what we did is last year, we came up with a marketplace format where every dealer has his own store online. Of course, it's central to mercedes-benz.co.in, but at least they have their own small stores in the big store. They can put their cars, they can put their price. If some dealer has a non-moving stock or a slow-moving stock, he can put his pricing there. And we gave transparency. The biggest pushback was from our dealers saying, hey, will the customer now not demand better? Is it right to give this kind of transparency? But thanks to the pandemic, they all believed in us. They all thought that this is the best time to change because the footfalls in showrooms came down and they all went out last year, June, to put this online. Post this, we did a lot of marketing efforts to educate customers. We did campaigns like Work from Home, which educated customers on the benefits of buying online and a very seamless omni-channel experience. Because frankly, there is no single platform in India where 100% transaction can happen online. Because in car, you need a purchasing requirement, you have a registration of a car, a lot of documentation issues. So we need a omni-channel platform. And this is where I think with e-commerce, we have been able to go strength to strength. Today, 20% of our new car sales happen online, close to 25% of used car sales, because in used cars, we are able to show the full inventory of all our dealers across India with pricing and with pictures and videos. So this gives customer a big leap that, a Nagpur customer can buy from Pune, which was not possible before the online world came up. And the biggest traction we have seen is on accessories business, because, we have these boutique items like perfume, cycles, right from caps and t-shirts. There we have seen almost 100% increase in our online channel, with customers now buying gifts for their loved ones online. Even small tickets, 5,000 to 1,50,000 bikes, they are buying online. So there also we see a big explosion when it comes to online sales and e-commerce.
One of the other sort of new initiatives from Mercedes-Benz is your strategy of the dealer not requiring to hold stock and considerably reduce the investment or cash block of the dealer. I want you first to explain how that works. And second is, do you think there are other categories who could learn from this example?
Yeah, I think let me explain the model. The model right now, all the OEMs, the automotive industry works on a B2B2C model, wherein there is a big pressure when you put inventory to the dealer. The dealer is then free to sell it at the price that he wants, and he tries to push it back. So what happens today? When a customer walks into any automobile showroom, the focus is on the price, not on the product, not on the brand, not on the experience. And the customer has done enough online research and with his friends and families, and then the discussion centers around pricing. In this case, the customer may not get the best deal because he is not negotiated enough, or that particular dealer has less inventory or more inventory. So it all depends on one-to-one timing of the customer and the dealer, and the entire transaction is based on the kind of inventory he or she is carrying. And because of that, customer ends up buying a wrong color, a wrong choice, because the sales consultant generally pushes what is in stock. And that's very natural, not only in automotive, but in any industry. What we thought is, as a luxury brand, if you want to increase customer experience, and we are quite obsessed with that, we need to change the game. And we need to take away the biggest pain point of this. Therefore, we have, in the new business model, we are going B2C. The dealers become franchisee partners. That means they are just there to give customer experience and not sell. The entire sales, quotation, everything happens from Mercedes-Benz India IT systems. Doesn't mean a customer won't get a discount. So if there is a customer who has a Mercedes-Benz car, he is working for a large corporate, he will be eligible for a corporate discount, he will be eligible for a loyalty benefit, he will be available for a Diwali, some sale or some discount happening. But he will get uniform price, be it in Chennai, be it in Delhi, be it anywhere in India. And now the dealers, or now in the new world, we call them franchisee partners, will have to compete on customer experience. Who reached the customer faster? Who gave the quotation first? Who gave the test drive in the shortest time? Who explained the product better? He will get the business. And the entire business of CSI, we are going like any other e-commerce player. We will display the dealer CSI scores online to the customer transparently, so they can decide in one city, if I have 3 partners, whom to buy. And that's based on the CSI score. So the game in luxury, and in the future, we are also convinced in the automotive will shift from discount-based sales to customer experience. And I think this is a significant step, because the business model today is our dealers, or not only ours, the industry dealers don't make good money from sales. They make money predominantly from service. So the customer is generally shortchanged there, and we want to change this. Therefore, this is a big shift, I would say, in the business model that we will operate in India starting Q4. The good part is our dealers are with us. Actually, it took us a lot of time to convince them, but I think they see a big future with this business model. It's less risk for them. they are also equally passionate to give better customer experience, and it takes away the risk factor for dealers. They are more profitable with this model.
Like I asked you, do you think there are other categories which could learn from what Mercedes-Benz is doing?
In our view, all categories which generally push stock to the distributor or to the dealer, be it consumer durables, is another example, and then they feel they should go out and pump it to the market. I think they need to relook at it, because that's not sales, and we need to sell the product and the brand and not the discount. So this will bring a lot of efficiency also to the overall industry. In our sense, let me go back to automotive industry, because that's where we are looking at today. A customer goes to 2 or 3 dealers, does the test drive of the same car, and then discusses price. We now, in the future, he may just go to one because he knows the price is the same. Let me know the product, let me understand. He can actually visit 2 competitors. So it saves time for the customer, it saves time for the distributor or the dealer, because he's not giving unnecessary test drives and wasting his consultant or the sales team's time and energy after the same customer who is already in the fold or who will anyway buy in the future from us. So any industry, be it FMCG, be it durables, which rely on pushing stocks to the market and rely on the distributor capabilities to sell, I think can learn also from this model. It will take time. I think these experiments are all in different parts of the world. Even for Mercedes-Benz as such, India is one of the first markets where we will be doing this. But we are quite confident that the industry will shift to such a model in the long term.
A lot of studies in the recent past have shown that during the pandemic, trust is a significant winner, as in almost any category.
Yeah.
Whether it's a toothpaste, whether it's a soap, and coming all the way to cars. What is the role do you think trust has played in your performance in the last year?
I think you are absolutely right. I think that from trust comes transparency, and they both are linked with each other. Let's start internally. When you look at our own organization, we never believed we could work from home the way we do it today. And it started with saying IT guys have, time punches. They are able to show hours of work, but we in marketing, sales, and, other conventional business models cannot show time punches. We work late. So, we used to have time punching cards when we come to office. All that is gone. Today, we have not replaced it by any other attendance system. It is just trust-based attendance. We know that our teams and colleagues are working. In fact, they are putting more hours than they used to do in the past. So that's the first step. Internally, as an organization, we have learned to live with trust. We don't need systems and machines telling us attendance or many other topics. When you look at the market, that's something now for us to also show transparency and gain the customer's trust was important. The example I gave earlier was showing stock to customers, showing what is available, showing the price transparency, showing the on-road price transparency to customer is also equally important. And this is where it's a big leap of faith that we trust the market and we trust the customer to also do justice back to us. He will not negotiate. And we have not seen any change in pattern by showing more visibility to customers. In fact, we have only seen more love for the brand. Our brand track studies show that our brand affinity scores have only gone up by being more transparent with the customer. The other example on trust is more so is today's data, because today as on the marketing side we use a lot of customer data. On the sales side, all our cars are connected, and because of that they also churn a lot of data which comes back to us. If the customers don't trust us, they won't share this. And today, when we do pairing of our cars, I am proud to say almost 96-97% of our cars, the customers gives us consent. Almost on all the leads that we get, we are able to get declaration of consent from customers. This is based on trust that as a brand, we won't misuse the data for any other purposes. The other example is, with Mercedes Me Connect, we have made a very clear policy. We will not do any marketing via apps. We will not send a push notification selling a car or something to the customer, because that's not what the customer has signed up for. So trust, as you said, I think these times customers look for brands which they can trust. For brands, it's equally important that they give transparency. I think that's the trade-off. The more transparent you are with the customer, with whatever you have, I think the customer will trust you more and it will pay back also in the business model. And that's a secret recipe for our 20% online sales, I can say.
Now, we are at the end of July and coming closer to the festive season, the puja season. It's the time for all of you to perhaps achieve 30-35% of your annual targets. So we're still not out of the woods on the pandemic, but how do you foresee this festive season for your portfolio?
As I said, fortunately, we are in a very good situation with all the cars having an order bank of 4 to 6 weeks. So technically, quarter 3 is almost sorted out. As much as we can supply, we should be able to sell. And similarly, on quarter 4, the big question will remain: will we be able to continue this order bank position? Whether we will consume the order bank and we will be able to sell all this still. So I think sales numbers will happen. Of course, we are not able to predict the third wave or the pandemic or lockdowns and shutdowns. But if there is no further lockdown, we see demand going back to 2019 levels clearly in the automotive sector, also for luxury products. Overall, the industry is grappling this time around with supply chain induced by COVID because of semiconductor shortage, because of parts. The logistic supply chain is under huge stress. We don't get the shipments, we don't get supply. So I think that's the biggest stress today, or more on the supply side than on the demand side. But with the number of trends on leads, inquiries, if you look at the pipeline that we have, I think the festive period should be good, and hopefully we should be able to get cars from our production colleagues and sell more cars.
And finally, I want to ask you, Santosh, name the one milestone or achievement in the coming year which will convince you that you have done a good job.
Wow, I think I won't limit it to the one coming year, but for me, I keep telling my teams that our biggest competitor actually is the mutual fund industry in India, and there's a reason for that, because India has so much of wealth, and the 15,000 cars that we sell on a good year, it doesn't do justice to the wealth and potential in India. But what's in India is the current saving mindset. There is a big cultural issue to spend on luxury products. Plus, in India, we don't have good social security system for the future, for post-retirement. So there is a big tendency to save. So if you see the SIP or books, every month it just swells. People put 50,000 lakh of rupees a month on SIPs. If you are able to get even a small fraction of that SIP back to buying luxury cars, because we have agility, we have a lot of financial products where you can own a Mercedes-Benz with 50,000, 70,000 rupees a month EMI, or lease a product itself. I think that will explode the overall luxury segment, and that's where we are gunning for. So in the midterm, I would say next 2 to 5 years, how much share we are able to get from and try to convert consumer sentiments from saving to spending on themselves. I think the COVID should accelerate this kind of a trend, because consumers, the YOLO phenomena, or trying to spend on oneself is huge. On the other side, also people have become conservative, because there is high level of uncertainty when it comes to jobs, business, environment around us. So we are battling both sides. But if the overall luxury segment improves and we are able to penetrate deeper, I think that would be a big win. In the short term, if you say next 1 year, transition to the new business model, I think will a successful transition, which I mean, we are able to command the same market share, we are able to increase our market share, we are able to also command the kind of price and brand premium that we do today. I think that's what success will look like in the next 6 to 12 months' time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Santosh, for a lovely conversation.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you.
And that was Santosh Iyer sharing how Mercedes-Benz India's new model promises to be beneficial for customers. He is presenting the MEL cheat sheet. Automakers need to create an omni-channel experience for customers that combines e-commerce and offline experience. Customer experience is key to creating value in the automotive industry. Trust and transparency increase a brand's affinity. And that's a wrap on this episode of Melt. You can follow us on social media. Our handle is Ready to Melt. And stay updated with all that's happening in the world of advertising and marketing with our daily Melt update on our website, readytomelt.com. I shall see you next week, same time, same place. Goodbye.